Good morning, Year 4. Welcome back to day 4. Let's go through the answers from yesterday. So question number 1, you had to simplify these fractions. So you had 4/5, 3/5, 1/3, 3/5, 1/3, 1/4. Question number 2, you had to, well, it says 2 of the fractions below are equivalent. Circle them. Okay, so you had to simplify some of the fractions, and then hopefully you found that 2/3 and 5/10 are equivalent. Question number 3, at a meeting of 24 adults, 16 are women. Represent this as a simplified fraction. Okay, and what fraction of the adults were men? So if there were 24 adults, that would be my denominator. So the fraction would be 16 over 24. And then I can simplify that fraction, okay, down to 2/3. Okay, so that's my simplified fraction. What fraction of the adults were men? Okay, would be 1/3. Question number 4, Martha says, I can simplify 48 hundredths to 24 50ths because 2 is the highest common factor. Is she correct? And prove it. No, she is not correct because you can simplify it further. Okay, so 24 50ths, I can simplify to 12 25ths. Okay, so today we're going to be recapping and applying our knowledge of adding and subtracting fractions. So if we have a look at this first calculation that I've got here, so I've got a quarter which is being represented here. Sorry, the shading's not very good, I'll go back over it. Plus 1/4. So I'm doing 1/4 plus 1/4. Okay, it's important to remember when we're adding fractions, okay, 1/4 add 1/4. Obviously, the denominator, the amount of parts that the whole is split into, stays the same. Okay, so the denominator, when adding and subtracting fractions, will stay the same. Okay, so I'm doing 1 plus 1. So 1 part plus 1 part, okay, will equal 2 parts, okay, which will equal 2/4. Okay, you may already be thinking, well, Miss Smither, from our previous learning this week, I know that I can simplify this fraction. If you were thinking that, well done. Because I know that I can simplify this down to a half, okay? I've got half of the circle shaded. This one, so this time I've got 3/5 add 2/5. Okay, so I've got my bar here, my whole is made of 5 parts. Okay, so once again, when I'm adding, the denominator is going to stay the same. I've got 3 parts, add 2 parts. Okay, and I'm going to shade that there. 3 parts, I'll do the second one in a different colour, add 2 parts, okay, and you can see here that that equals 5/5, which is the same as 1 whole, okay, the whole bar has been shaded when I've added 3 and 2, so it equals 1. Right, one more together and then I'm going to get you to practice at home. So, this time I've got 2 elevenths, add 4 elevenths, add 3 elevenths. Okay, so I've got my 2 elevenths, and remembering that my denominator staying the same. 2 elevenths, add 4 elevenths, add 3 elevenths. And I'm going to show you this pictorially on the bar as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, unfortunately I haven't got another colour, so I'm just going to go back to purple. Oh. Equals, okay, then when I add that all together, I get 9 elevenths, okay. Once again, I can have a look. Can I simplify that fraction anymore? No, I can't, okay, so the answer is 9 elevenths. Right, time for practice at home. So pause the video, have a go. Look at the questions carefully because these ones are a little bit different. Okay, so let's have a look together. So, first one, I've got 1/7 plus something equals 5/7. Okay, so I've got 1/7 plus something equals 5/7. So I'm going to shade in the rest of the bar so that there are 5/7 shaded. Okay, so now on my bar, 5/7 has been represented. Okay, so I can then use that to help me work out what I've added to 1/7 to get 5/7. So 4 parts are shaded out of 7. Okay, this one, again, so I've got 4/7 plus something equals 1 whole. Okay, and the whole here being the same as 7/7, so all parts shaded. Okay, so I've had to shade an extra 3 parts out of 7 to get my whole. So the answer there would be 3/7. Right, having a quick look at subtracting fractions before I give you your task to do today. So here I've got my circle, which I have split into quarters. Okay, so my whole is the same as 4 quarters. Okay, if I'm then subtracting 2 quarters, okay, so I'm taking away 2 parts from my whole, leaving me with 2 parts. Once again, my denominator will stay the same. Okay, which is 2 quarters, which once again we know is the same as a half. Okay, so denominator will stay the same, just making sure that we're subtracting those parts. Right, your turn at home. So today you have 3 tasks to complete. First one, you've got some adding and subtracting fractions, and then you've got some reasoning and problem solving tasks to complete. Check back tomorrow and I will go through the answers. Should you wish to complete some mental maths today, please continue watching the video for the questions. You will need to look carefully at the calculations and decide whether to use a mental or written method. Remember to set yourself a timer for 5 minutes and to pause the video. Good luck! Now you have finished, continue watching for the answers.